Hello and welcome to Fast and Factual on Firstpost, where we get you the 50 top headlines from across the world. I'm Alison Lagrange, live from Durban, South Africa. Let's begin. Now, yesterday there was an assassination attempt on Slovakia's Prime Minister Robert Fico. He was shot at 5 times while leaving a government meeting. He is now in a stable condition. Slovak authorities have said that Fico is no longer in a life-threatening situation. The assassination attempt was carried out by a 71-year-old man. The Slovak government said that the shooting was politically motivated. The Russian President Vladimir Putin landed in China this morning to kickstart his 2-day visit to the country. The Russian president held talks with his Chinese counterpart Xi Jinping. Xi praised the current momentum of the China-Russia relationship during the talks. The two leaders have further pledged to rejuvenate their ties. US President Joe Biden and former President Donald Trump will be going to the debate stage. The 2024 presidential candidates have agreed to 2 debates. The first one will be held on the 27th of June. The second will be on the 10th of September. This will be their first on-stage clash in more than 3 years. Now, cracks are beginning to appear within the Israeli government. Israel's Defense Minister Yoav Gallant has openly voiced his frustration with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Gallant criticized the government's failure to address questions related to a post-war Gaza plan. Gallant said that he's been raising the issue for months, but has received no response. France has declared a state of emergency in its Pacific Island territory of New Caledonia. The emergency will remain in force for 12 days. The island authorities have been given sweeping search and arrest powers. At least 4 have been killed since the violence erupted in New Caledonia over the past few days. Riots broke out over the amendments to the French Constitution. The amendments may negatively affect the voting rights of the indigenous people of New Caledonia. And now for updates from India's parliamentary elections. In a first 2 constituencies in the city of Mumbai have begun the process of home voting. Now, more than 500 senior citizens and 9 people with disabilities cast their ballots from home. This was for the upcoming 5th phase of the Indian general elections. The 5th phase is scheduled for the 20th of May. The Election Commission of India has summoned senior police officials from the state of Andhra Pradesh. This is to inquire about the post-poll violence in the state. The officials have been asked to explain the reasons for the failure of the state administration. Now, the ruling BJP has lodged a complaint with the Election Commission of India. The BJP has accused Rahul Gandhi, a leader of the Indian National Congress Party, of violating the election's model code of conduct. The BJP alleges that Gandhi disrespected the Indian Army in one of his speeches. Meanwhile, India's Election Commission has rejected the nomination affidavit of a comedian called Shyam Rangila. Now, Rangila had tried to file his nomination as an independent candidate from the Varanasi constituency in the state of Uttar Pradesh. He was trying to directly compete against India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Rangila says he was told that his nomination was rejected because he did not take an oath. According to the Election Commission's website, the forms of 36 nominees out of 55 were rejected. Meanwhile, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi held a roadshow in Mumbai yesterday. Before the rally, he paid tribute to the medieval Indian ruler Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. The Indian Prime Minister offered flowers at the feet of a statue of the legendary leader. Now, Delhi's Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal held a joint press conference with Akhilesh Yadav from the Samajwadi Party. Now, the two politicians took shots at the ruling BJP. During the conference, Kejriwal reiterated a claim that India's current Home Minister, Amit Shah, will become the Prime Minister if the BJP is re-elected. He added that the Chief Minister of the state of Uttar Pradesh, Yogi Adityanath, will be removed from his position. Meanwhile, Home Minister Amit Shah took shots at Arvind Kejriwal's recent bail ruling. Shah said that he does not see the Supreme Court's decision as a routine judgment. Earlier this month, the Delhi Chief Minister was granted bail to campaign for the parliamentary elections. He was jailed over an alleged liquor policy scam. Shah said that many in the country believe that Kejriwal was given special treatment. The Union Minister Smriti Irani has said that she considers the Congress party's Priyanka Gandhi Vadra as her main opponent. She said that although Gandhi Vadra isn't contesting the elections, she is fighting backstage to support her brother Rahul Gandhi. Irani is contesting the general elections from the Amethi constituency. Her main challenger is the Congress party's Kishori Lal Sharma. Mamata Banerjee, the Chief Minister of the state of West Bengal, has said that she will provide outside support to the opposition bloc, the India Alliance. That's if it comes to power after the general elections. Earlier this year, Banerjee had put her membership of the bloc on hold. She announced that her party would contest the polls alone in West Bengal. However, her party continues to be a part of the alliance bloc at the national level. Meanwhile, Kania Kumar, an India Alliance bloc candidate from Delhi, has launched a crowdfunding initiative to finance his campaign. In a social media post, Kumar urged citizens to join him in his initiative. While asking for support, he added that this election is a fight to save democracy. Moving on to climate news now. Brazil's President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva visited the flood-hit state of Rio Grande do Sul yesterday. The Brazilian government has announced aid for those who have been impacted due to the floods. Nearly 250,000 families will receive about $1,000 each as compensation. Brazil had earlier pledged $10 billion for the region's recovery. India has sent 40 tons of aid to Kenya to help the flood victims. Now, the aid includes tents, blankets, and medical supplies, and this is the second batch of aid sent from India to Kenya, where devastating floods have killed over 260 people and displaced thousands others. The Indian Meteorological Department has predicted fresh heatwave spells in parts of the country. Heatwave conditions will prevail over northwest India from the 16th of May. Meanwhile, the eastern region of India will experience a heatwave from the 18th of May. And hundreds of new firefighters are in training ahead of Canada's deadly wildfire season. The first major wildfires of the year have already broken out in Western Canada. Now, they have prompted evacuation orders in some parts of British Columbia and Alberta. Canadian officials say the upcoming months will be worse. This is due to unusually warm temperatures and an ongoing drought, which have dried out Canadian forests. Residents in Chile's capital, Santiago, are facing the most intense cold snap in decades. It is the most severe cold spell the country has experienced in 70 years. Forecasters say temperatures are expected to drop further as Chile's winter progresses. On to business and tech news. The US inflation slightly eased in the month of April. This is the first time inflation has declined in 2024. Data showed that consumer prices rose by 3.4% in April, marginally lower compared to the previous month. Lower food and car prices helped to reduce the overall inflation. Now, the U.S. House of Representatives has passed an aviation bill. It aims to improve safety in the aviation sector and to protect consumers. The $105 billion package seeks to increase staffing at the air traffic controllers. It also directs the U.S. Federal Aviation Administration to improve safety standards at airlines. This comes as the country saw a number of flight mishaps in 2024. Mexican Airlines Volaris has been fined $300,000 in the U.S. The airline has been penalized for violating the country's aviation regulations. Volaris allegedly kept its planes on an airport tarmac for a long time without allowing the passengers to disembark. Chile has reached an agreement with the American chemical manufacturer Albemarle. It will now allow Albemarle to extract more lithium in the country. The deal is expected to increase the firm's lithium production quota by nearly 50%. However, under the agreement, the U.S. firm will have to use sustainable technology for mining. It has also been asked to obtain environmental permits for mining. The British mining firm Anglo American has reportedly suspended new hirings. This is a part of the company's overhaul plan. Anglo American plans to sell its less profitable mining businesses like coal, nickel and diamond. It will focus on energy transition metals like copper. The move aims to avert a takeover bid by Australia's BHP Group. BHP has submitted multiple proposals to buy Anglo American, all of which have been rejected. U.S. officials have held their first formal bilateral talks on artificial intelligence with China. Now, during the meeting, the U.S. officials flagged misuse of AI by China. The U.S. has asked China to open new lines of communication on risk and safety of the new technology. Meanwhile, Beijing slammed Washington for its restrictions and pressure in the sector. The U.S. tech giant Microsoft has reportedly asked some of its employees in China to consider moving to a different country. About 700 to 800 workers in Microsoft's cloud computing unit in China have been asked to relocate. Chinese workers have the option to move to countries like the U.S., Ireland, and Australia. The move comes amid tensions between Beijing and Washington. Now, IBM is planning to hire up to 800 new workers in Ireland. The new staff will be primarily involved in research and development. IBM plans to build advanced software in Ireland to power artificial intelligence models. Disney CEO Bob Iger has said that the firm has reduced investments in the traditional television business. Iger says although TV is important to engage with the consumer, it is not a growth business. He added that Disney has been cutting its investment on TV shows while spending more on streaming platforms. Meanwhile, streaming giant Netflix has said that its ad-supported subscription plan now has 40 million monthly active users globally. This is compared to just 5 million monthly active users last year. Netflix's ad-supported subscription plan offers a cheaper alternative to users. However, the plan includes advertisement on the platform. Moving to sports news now. Today we begin with football news. Indian captain Sunil Chhetri has announced that he is retiring from international football. 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifier against Kuwait on the 6th of June will be Chhetri's last game for India. He has made a total of 150 appearances for the Indian national side, with 94 goals for India. Chhetri is the fourth in the list of top scorers in international football matches. Manchester United beat Newcastle United 3-2 in the English Premier League. This was United's final home game of the season. The defeat was a setback for Newcastle, who are now level on points with United. Both teams are at 57 points with just one game remaining in the season. Juventus beat Atalanta 1-0 yesterday to clinch the Coppa Italia title. Dusan Vlahovic scored a goal after just 4 minutes into play. He helped his team lift silverware for the first time in 3 years. Juventus are now 15-time champions of the Coppa Italia. Now on to cricket news and the Indian Premier League. The Punjab Kings beat the Rajasthan Royals by 5 wickets yesterday. Rajasthan went out to bat first and were restricted to an underwhelming 144 for 9 wickets. Riyan Parag contributed with 48 runs off 34 balls during Rajasthan's innings. Punjab finished at 145 for 5 with 7 balls to spare. South Africa's cricket board, the CSA, is under fire for naming a T20 World Cup squad that has only one black player. Kagiso Rabada is the only black South African in the 15-member squad. Cricket South Africa's policy mandates that its national team have at least 2 players from black South African community. The former CSA and ICC president, Ray Mali, said that the squad is a signal that the game is going backwards in South Africa. Now, running icon Usain Bolt was at the launch of cricket's newest stadium in New York ahead of the T20 World Cup. He got the first glimpse of the Nassau County International Cricket Stadium, along with cricket legends like Sir Curtly Ambrose and Shoaib Malik, among others. The world-class stadium has a capacity of 34,000. It will host at least 8 matches at this year's T20 World Cup. In tennis now, Germany's Alexander Zverev has advanced to the semi-final of the Italian Open. Zverev was facing America's Taylor Fritz in the quarterfinal, but moments into the match, Zverev suffered cuts to his wrist and needed medical attention. However, he shrugged it off and beat Fritz 6-4, 6-3. Zverev will now face Chile's Alejandro Taibo. Now, over in the women's draw, Danielle Collins from the US has entered the Italian Open semi-finals. She defeated former world number 1 Victoria Azarenka 6-4, 6-3 in the quarters. Collins will next lock horns with the current women's world number 2, Aryna Sabalenka. Now, India's Javelin ace Neeraj Chopra has secured a gold medal in the Federation Cup in the Athletics Meet 2024. The 26-year-old is participating in an event on Indian soil for the first time in 3 years. Chopra recorded a distance of 82.27 meters in the men's javelin throw event. It helped him to secure the top spot on the podium. Now, in badminton, the world number 3 doubles pair Chirag Shetty and Satwik Sairaj Rankireddy have entered the second round of the Thailand Open. They downed their counterparts from Malaysia 21-13, 21-13 in just 34 minutes. The Indian duo will take on China's Xie Haonan and Zheng Weihan in the round of 16 next. In entertainment news, the premiere of the film Furiosa Amad Max Saga took place at the Cannes Film Festival. According to reports, the film got an 8-minute-long standing ovation. The premiere was attended by the leading cast members, Anya Taylor-Joy and Chris Hemsworth. Now, the film will release in theaters on the 24th of May. Now, speaking at the Cannes Film Festival, director Greta Gerwig said that the Me Too movement has changed things for the better in the film industry. She feels the movement has led to substantive change and the conversation should continue to expand. Barbie director Greta Gerwig is the jury head at Cannes this year. Now, the mothers of the former Miss USA 2023, Neolia Voigt, and former Miss Teen USA 2023, Uma Sofia Srivastava, have spoken out. They say their daughters were ill-treated, abused, and bullied. They said the job of their dreams turned out to be a nightmare. The mothers have spoken up after the two pageant winners relinquished their titles a few weeks ago. Now, the American lingerie brand Victoria's Secret will restart its annual fashion show after 6 years. The brand scrapped the show because of sluggish sales and diminishing audiences. But this autumn, they will bring their models back to the runway. Gucci turned London's Tate Modern Art Gallery into a fashion show venue. Models walked around the gallery's basement space. The Italian luxury fashion house was presenting its Cruise 2023 line. They displayed suede jackets, short coats, and pleated gowns. Actor Sophie Turner has opened up about her divorce with musician Joe Jonas. She says splitting up with Joe Jonas brought her the worst days of her life. The former couple were married for 4 years. Turner says she also felt mom guilt when she was on shoots and her children were in the US. Now, actor Angie Harmon has filed a case against the delivery app Instacart and one of its former shoppers. Harmon alleges that the shopper fatally shot her dog in March. The actor's lawsuit says the defendants are liable for trespassing, gross negligence, and emotional distress. The first teaser of the series Dune Prophecy is out. The series is set thousands of years before the events of the Dune movie franchise. The Dune Prophecy teaser shows the sisterhood on a mission to save the future of mankind. The show will reportedly release this autumn. The 1996 golf comedy Happy Gilmore has been renewed for a second part. The star of the original film, Adam Sandler, will likely reprise his role. Sandler played the role of an athlete with anger management issues. Natasha Leon is all set to join the Marvel Cinematic Universe. She has been cast in a reboot of the Fantastic Four franchise. However, it is not yet clear what role she will play. The film's release date is also yet to be announced. And that's all on today's episode of Fast and Factual. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned to Firstpost. Firstpost reports from the world's second largest continent. Hello, I'm Alison LaGrange. A very warm welcome from Durban, South Africa. We get you the news and the newsmakers from Africa. South Africa goes to the polls on the 29th of May. I will track the election and bring you ground reports. Is it the end of the road for the African National Congress? And will former President Jacob Zuma stage a dramatic comeback? From elections to climate change to innovations and opportunities. As the world's attention shifts, we report from Africa, the heart of the global south. Join me every weekday live on Firstpost.